uh, physical properties. Physical properties of metals. Due, this is, and all of this is due to what? Due to, all of this is due to metallic bonding that exists between the atoms, right? So if you would want to explain metallic bonding, it is what? It is forces of attraction between the positive metal ions and the sea of delocalized electrons, right? What was it? The forces of attraction between the positively charged metal ions and the sea of electron is called metallic bonding. So properties of metallic bonding: electric conductivity. When we talk about, I've already mentioned what are the physical properties, right? Physical properties are generally the melting point, the boiling point, electric conductivity, solubility, right? Density. These are all the physical properties, right? And malleability and ductility, all of these we are going to see, they're specific for metallic bonding only. So let's talk about melting point and boiling point, right? Melting point and boiling point. Very high, very high melting points and very high boiling points. The reason being strong forces of attraction between the positively charged ions and the sea of electron. Okay, strong forces of attraction. The reason, due to strong forces of attraction between positively charged ions and sea of delocalized electrons. They do not, for it to melt, what it needs to do, right? For it to melt, what should be done? This is a metal, and these are electrons that are there holding them in their place, not letting anybody move anywhere. What they need to do is, for to melt, they need to be what? Spread loosely apart, right? For them, it needs to be something like this. This is when it is going to be starting to do what? To melt, right? So in order to do that, you need to do what? You need to increase the vibration of these atoms, these ions. The vibration of, you should not be calling them atoms, you should calling them ions. You need to increase the vibration of these and the kinetic energy of these ions to such an extent that these electrons are no longer able to hold them together, right? So in order to melt, we need, because there are so many electrons, we need we need a large amount of energy to let the ions move or gain enough kinetic energy and overcome the attraction from ions, sorry, from electrons. You get it? So that is why it requires a large amount of energy for it to start to change the state, because of the forces of attraction between the ions and the electrons. Is this clear? Hmm? Similarly, when we talk about electricity, electric conductivity, you can write it later, inshallah. I just want you to understand first. Electric conductivity. It is understood very well. I've always told that the electric conductivity actually depends upon moving particles, right? the electric conductivity depends upon moving particles. And what were those two moving particles? Hadia, can you recall? Ions and electrons, right? Remember? Hello? Hello? These are the two that you would be needing, right? These are the two that you would be needing for conductivity of electricity. So you can see the ions are there, but are the ions responsible for the conductivity of electricity in metals? Are ions responsible for conductivity?
नहीं.
No, the reason is because they are fixed. They cannot do that, right? Then who is responsible for the conductivity of,
Electrons.
very good, electrons? So free moving electrons, free moving electrons are responsible for electric conductivity. For electric conductivity, right? How come? If you're going to be, this is what you might be studying in your physics already. If you're going to be like, this is the metal rod, and these are the ions that are present there, and these are the electrons that are present there. So if you're going to introduce poles, how do you introduce electricity? Basically, you're going to connect one of the terminals to the negative, another terminal to the positive, right? Negative is actually doing what? Emitting electrons, and the electrons are moving towards where? Positive side, right? This is what is taking place. So when you connect it to the negative side, the electrons are moving in, and the electrons are moving towards the positive side. So it is conducting electricity, right? You understand? So the flow of electron is going to be, this is the flow of electron. Electron flow is going to be towards from negative to positive. Making sense? All right. So when this is the part, and the third, another property that we have to discuss is malleability. What is malleability? That a metal can be, a metal can be hammered into different shapes. And why does this take place? Even though the metals, they are hard, but still, why does this take place? Because, why does this take place? Because so we know that um, metals are highly malleable. And why is that? Because the ionic layers slide over each other due to the presence of electrons in between them, right? The sufficient force is applied they can slide over each other. What do we mean by that? These are the, this is the metallic rod, let's say, and this is the layer, and then this is the layer, this is another layer, and there's a sea of electrons in between them. If you're going to hammer this, if it is hammered from this part, this layer is going to slide over the other layer due to the presence of electrons in between them. You get it? Or any other way. They could slide either this way like this downwards, or this could slide in this manner. So it could become something like this. Maybe something like this. They have slided, to slide over in this manner. They can slide, or that could be done in any shape we want. Is this making sense?
जी थोड़ा सा ऊपर कर दें.
All right. Ductility is what? Ductility is what? When you are able to convert something into a wire. Something made into wire without breaking. So there's a piece, it will be stretched in this manner that it's going to convert into a thin wire, maybe like this, right? So all the ions are atoms are there, and this is again taking place because of the same phenomena. Okay, it's the same thing, because the ionic layers, they slide over each other, and due to the presence of electrons in between them, right? So they are very highly ductile. Metals are highly ductile. They are malleable. They're malleable. They have a. We are going to be studying more physical properties like their shiny, their solubility, and their reactions, and everything is going to be when we discuss the topic of metals itself or the periodic table. We are only discussing the characteristics which are responsible due to that are concerned with the physical the physical properties concerned to with the bonding only, the metallic bonding. Okay.